We're coming live to you from Singapore. I'm here with Roy from Lightlink, and he's got an L2 solution that we want to share with you all. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Action.
All right, let's talk about the real deal here. Are you really an L2? Because nowadays, some people are claiming to be L2s and they're just an L1. They don't roll up to anything, they're just kind of there.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think decentralization and security are important properties, right? Otherwise, how do you trust the transaction actually happened?
Yeah,
And if your chain goes down, how do you recover your data, right?
exactly.
Important properties. So we use Celestia as our data availability, and we then roll proofs into layer one Ethereum. And in case if things goes down, we have plenty of sources to recover that data from. We built the chain from ground up, so it's
Okay,
proprietary technology,
interesting.
as opposed to forks of
Yeah.
optimism and arbitrum.
Why?
Yeah, good question, right? Because it can do things, it allows us the capability to change economic models, change
Mhm.
fundamental architecture, but still operate with the same mindset.
That makes a lot of sense. So, what's the reason why someone would pick your L2 versus another to build on?
Yeah, there are so many different L2s out there, right?
Yeah.
Our core focus is a enterprise adoption thesis. We think the space is fairly small.
Hmm.
It's all about crypto natives, and for us to change as an industry, we need mainstream adoption. And for that to happen, we need the enterprise to enter into the equation. So we've been working in this industry for the past 7 years,
Wow.
and we've worked with many different enterprise customers, and they faced a capacity issue from layer one, and therefore we built a layer two to really address some of that concerns.
Got it. So it's not like you're just coming out and saying, you know what, we're going to come up with this random product because we think we're going to sell it. It's really coming from a place of need.
Yeah, it's not a product looking for a solution. We saw a lot of different pain, and we built a product to address that pain.
Wow. How is it live yet?
It's in mainnet.
It's in mainnet. All right. What's the adoption been like? Are people excited about it? Are people building on it?
600,000 wallets. We do about 100,000 transactions every day. It's high capacity, low latency, low transaction fee. So it's more suited for real world applications.
Lovely.
Conversations with enterprise customers are fairly slow because they're enterprise customers.
They take a while.
That's right. But we've recently landed a Lamborghini as a customer.
That's awesome.
When Lambo, right?
Well, you don't got to ask when Lambo anymore. You got Lambo.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So that's in partnership with Wearable, with Motoverse, with Animoca brands, and Lightlink is the chain that Lambo would be launching the technology on.
That's phenomenal. Wow. So, what was the pitch? What did you tell them about Lightlink? What got them to, cross over that finish line?
Well, it's certainly in combination with all of our partners, Gravitar Labs, to push this project forward. But our core differentiation is a different economic model. So over the past 7 years, when I talk to CTOs and CEOs, they constantly ask, how do I pay for my transactions on behalf of the users, right?
Mm,
So we built this gas abstraction capability, which we can turn it on and off on the contract level, which
okay.
allows enterprise customers to prepay gas in fiat. So they don't need to accumulate gas tokens 6 months in the future because they don't know
How
how
much
much
is
it's
it going to
going to
be?
be. Exactly. So we try to offer mindset and technology and different abstraction capabilities to help our enterprise customers to adopt this space.
And that's an turn on, turn off feature, like as
Smart
needed.
contract. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Wow,
Yeah.
that makes a big difference because a lot of times, yeah, I don't want my customer to have to pay for things, and others, I want the product to just sit there.
Yeah.
And if the customer wants to come and do its thing, they can do whatever they want. And
Exactly.
I definitely don't want to cover those gas fees, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible technology. Now, as far as these enterprise solutions that you're trying to approach and trying to build with, what do you provide to them? Are you guys helping them getting on board onto maybe a new
Yeah.
programming language? Like what's the support look like?
Yeah, exactly right. Because enterprise customers don't want to buy blockchain. You know, you,
Really don't.
you go to a very large FMCG brand
Yeah.
or a real estate company, you go, do you want to buy blockchain? They go, what is a blockchain, right? So they want to buy a solution. They want to buy, a capability which
Yeah.
allow them to have more customers, have a cost saving
Yeah.
capability to generate new revenue. So they're more about solutions. So, and therefore, over the past 7 years, we've been building solutions. So, from a Lightlink perspective, we
Hmm.
offer different levels of abstraction. So, gas abstraction I spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
We do chain abstraction, account abstraction, and many other things. So, from a chain abstraction perspective, instead of building in Solidity,
Hmm.
writing, using different libraries to interact with on-chain components, it's a one line of API call. Give me some tokens, transfer some tokens. And therefore, when I talk to enterprise customers, it's more like, hey, do you want a loyalty solution instead? Call this
Wow.
API.
So essentially, what you're doing is not making them reinvent the way that they do business. You're just providing them a new way to do business.
A Web3 way of doing business that's a little bit easier to use than
Well, a
other
little bit,
Web3
a
stuff.
lot easier, it sounds like. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to, and they're like, yeah, I'll do that blockchain thing when it's easy, when I don't have to change,
Yeah.
like, essentially, my entire business.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's pros and cons of this ecosystem, right? So we are on the enterprise level, but I also see a tremendous value from a pure crypto native Web3 value too. So
Yeah.
they can coexist at the same time.
All right. Explain to me a little bit how the your chain actually functions. Validator, staking, like, what is that? How does it function in the background?
Yeah, very similar to a optimism architecture. So there are sequencers, validators, and things like that. It's more centralized than we like at the moment,
Hmm.
and we're in the path of decentralization,
Okay.
which I think is an important component
Yeah.
of being a layer two. And I strongly resonate to what Vitalik said, a couple of days ago in terms of hoping that layer twos would be stage one,
Yeah.
in 2025. So it's a target
Absolutely.
that we're looking
No,
to achieve.
and I think we're going to get there for sure. There's no doubt about it. When you say you want it to be a little bit more decentralized, are you saying you want new validators to come in? Like, what is it that you're looking for that decentralization?
Yeah, so when the core team no longer, for whatever reason, can don't have the capacity to operate the network, the community can operate and continue to service all the capability on the network. So that strong decentralization and less reliance on the core team.
Well, you're talking to the right person. So everybody listening in, all my miners, my validators, this is a chain to check out. Because it honestly, like that's what got me into crypto in the first place was mining, right? So I started early on, 2012, mining Bitcoin, then over to
Wow.
Litecoin, then over to Dogecoin. Lost everything. Don't worry about that one. But it's a matter of the tech. Like how can we make this stuff actually work? How does it function? How can it support different platforms? So to me, being not only saying that yes, we want to be more decentralized and welcoming those people, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Is there incentives for those people though?
Yeah, so we're creating a validator network capability. So as token holders, they can use the tokens in the form of uh, creating validator node capabilities on the network, and they're incentivized by the tokenomics within the network as well. So yeah, I would definitely encourage more people to participate in the network.
Phenomenal. That's really great. I mean, it's exciting when people actually care about that stuff because most people they say they care about something and all of a sudden everything's running on AWS. I'm like, that's not how this is supposed to work. You know what I mean? So people that actually care about the decentralization of things actually goes a long way, and it creates security, right? That's a huge part of this.
Yeah, exactly right.
Um, when it comes to the people using your platform right now, you mentioned that you have 600,000 wallets.
Mhm.
Are those a lot of retail customers, or do you think those are on the more corporate side of things?
Yeah, I would say it's half and half.
Okay.
During our TGE, during our airdrop campaign, we certainly acquired a fair share of retail participants.
Mm,
On the other side, as more people utilize a digital wallet with one of our corporate partners or be playing a game with one of the games that we have on the network, they will be, utilizing the chain with a certain level of abstraction without really knowing that they're working with the chain. So a bit of both.
very cool. So basically, what these guys are doing in the background is like they're not trying to, say we're all about Web3. They're like, come play the game, and the wallet gets created in the background.
Exactly.
Beautiful. I mean, that's what real adoption is all about. It's not about flaunting like, hey, this is what the wires look like. It's a matter of hiding those wires and say, come enjoy the product that you're looking for.
Yeah. I heard this excellent analogy recently. You know, you get on a plane to go from A to B. You don't actually care about how the engine works, or you have to go crank the engine every 100 miles, right?
Wow, that's such a great point. I mean, that's exactly what we see in the space time and time again. Is people trying to like flaunt, hey, this is how we're functioning, this is what's going to happen, and the end user is going, why do I care?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a need for both, but for enterprise customers, I think a level of abstraction is really important.
Agree. No, completely agree. But again, if they want their users to come over, they don't want to show the wires. They literally want to hide the wires so that
Yeah.
they can actually do something like this. When it comes to Lambo, like real quick, Lamborghini is now a client of yours. What are they looking to use the technology for? Is it for rewards? Is it to keep track of customer? Like, what is it that they're looking to use your platform for?
To innovate, to
Okay.
participate in a really cool community, to offer rides in different games, and so on and so forth. Can't talk too much about it, but there will be more information next week.
I'm I'm gonna try to get more out of it. Don't worry. Well, this might not go live. It's gonna go live after next week, so it's okay. It's okay amongst friends.
Stanley.
um, w- you got Lambo. Is there another big client that maybe you haven't even talked to that you would love to onboard that you think would be a great partnership?
So outside of Lightlink, we've been building a lot of different solutions. Over the past 7 years, we work with Australian Open, so one of the Grand Slams. We worked with US Golf Association, and all of those sporting brands, including football,
Hmm.
soccer, I think would benefit greatly from a frictionless, low latency, high capacity, on-chain capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, there is million L2s out there. Um, are you going to try to, sell, quote unquote, your clients to be in a specific area, a specific niche? Or do you want everybody to just kind of come over and enjoy what the platform has to offer?
It's a general purpose network, and I think blockchain offers a lot of capabilities in finance, in
Hmm.
loyalty, in things that it's really good at from security and things from that perspective. My dream is to be the infrastructure of a certain digital economy to a certain smart city, and we're making really cool ways with that. So stay tuned for
Man, like
things
this
from
is the
there.
worst type of interview. Like I want to get everything. I wanted all the information. It's like it's coming. It's coming. I can't let it out quite yet. But this is exciting. Like
It
this is the
is.
sort of thing that really like if you look around, people are desperate for it and people want to see more adoption. People want to
Mm.
see more things actually getting deployed. And I know we're at the cusp of something really big. I mean, not only this bull market that we're right in the cusp of, but everything else getting built out because yes, there is definitely profits to be involved when it comes to these markets, but most of all, what brings those profits is the adoption, right?
Yep, exactly. So I was talking to a partner yesterday about this. The traditional financial rails are built using technology from 1960s, 1970s, right? And we've just done the same thing over the next 50 years.
Yeah.
And now after this Bitcoin white paper and then Vitalik making it programmatic, it's a new infrastructure, new financial rails for a lot of really cool things, and then adding programmatic capabilities
Yeah.
on top of this new, more secure network. I'm really excited about it, and that's
Yeah.
why we're in this, right?
Wow. Okay. What got you into this in the first place?
Mm. I love technology, love cool new tech, and how much cooler can it be?
I mean, you're right. I mean, that's why I'm here as well. So to me, it totally resonates. Where do we go from here, though? Because I mean, we want to onboard more people. It's to me, it's not a matter of trying. Okay, so there's a bunch of people in that O2. Let's bring them over. It's a matter of not only that. Sure, if there's better solutions, but getting new people in.
Yeah.
What do you think that we need to do? Maybe as users of your network, even what can we do to maybe have that happen and kind of spread the awareness about this thing?
Yeah, I think our approach has been predominantly talking to enterprise customers and talking about the benefits of interoperability, transparency, having programmatic capabilities, and how they should embrace and experiment with new technology as opposed to older technology that's maybe not as secure, maybe doesn't have the same characteristics. From a user perspective, keep on trying new things and, buy some JPEGs sometimes.
I have a lot of JPEGs,
Yeah.
a lot of JPEGs, and that's a cool thing about the space. And I mean, some people are using it for art, some people are using it for DeFi, but I feel like there's a place for everyone in here. It's like we're
Yeah.
not trying to keep anybody out. There's no exclusion. It's quite the opposite. It's like we want more people. Doesn't matter what you're interested in,
Yeah.
come. Like there's definitely space for you, right?
Exactly right. And I think, like what you were saying earlier, um, there are networks that are providing incentives to attract users, and they rotate from one network to another, and it's the same amount of users. And to truly address that, you need substantially more users to enter this space. And those that like ourselves, the digital natives, the tech pioneers, are already experimenting with this technology. And to get mainstream adoption, you really need to work with much larger enterprise
Hmm.
full of users and using their reach and bring those users into this space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right. How can people find your L2? Where they can get more information and just kind of get involved?
Yeah, you can Google us at Lightlink, lightlink.io, and Lightlink Chain on X.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I
Pleasure.
can't wait to hear about all these things you can't share quite yet.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know we do not understand that we do not have? Ladies and gentlemen,
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.